And welcome back to Hannity. Today, President Obama announced the Presidential Medal of Freedom recipients, and among the list of names receiving the nation's highest civilian honor was none other than media mogul Oprah Winfrey. Now, ironically enough, this honor comes just days after Oprah cast herself back into the spotlight after she made these controversial comments.
It's so easy during this time, Trayvon Martin parallel to Emmett Till. Let me just tell you. In my mind, same thing. But you can get stuck in that and not allow yourself to move forward and to see how far we've come.
The film so big, director Lee Daniels reportedly even courted President Obama for a cameo.
Oprah? No, he couldn't get Obama. And, you know, that's why Obama is our president, because he knows not to go and get himself in a movie and be on Fox News every day afterwards. Yes, Obama is very smart.
Here with reaction from the TeaParty.net, Niger Innes, and Fox News contributor Jamu Green. Guys, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Hi there.
Thanks for having us, Sean.
All right, let's first remind everybody, Niger, I'm going to start with you, that Trayvon Martin's parents, attorney, Darryl Parks, the family attorney, they've all said this is not racial. And many of the jurors said the same thing as well. They didn't believe it was racial after all the evidence was presented. The story of 14-year-old Emmett Till, it is an evil atrocity, a young man from Chicago who goes to Mississippi and, you know, says something to a white woman, and the white woman's husband, her brother, literally make him carry a 75-pound cotton gin fan to the bank of the Tallahatchie River. They forced him to take off his clothes. They beat him nearly to death. They gouged out his eye. They shot him in the head, then threw his body tied to this gin fan with barbed wire into the river. This was a racist, racial hate crime. Why would Oprah compare that to this case? What's your reaction to that, Niger?
Well, she shouldn't, and it is not a comparison. And I'm glad you brought up Trayvon Martin's parents and his attorneys, because, you know, as an African-American male that lost two brothers that were murdered, I really have a great deal of sympathy, and I'm actually quite honored by the way that they comported themselves throughout the trial and even after the trial. But Oprah's comparison was not accurate, it's not valid, and it kind of does a disservice to the civil rights revolution that was won. But I think, Sean, the more important point that was made by Oprah was that black folks should not get, and American people should not get mired in this case of Trayvon Martin as much of a tragedy as it was for our country. You know, let me say, if Jamu and you and I jumped into a time machine and went back to the 1950s, which is when Emmett Till was lynched, racially lynched, and we had said that by 2013 there'll be a black president that had been preceded by two black secretaries of state, that Oprah Winfrey is one of the most powerful people in the history of media, they would all say that we are universally crazy. And I think that is the larger point. We live in a great and noble country that black Americans and others have fought to make better. And I think that is the focus that Oprah, that was the second part of her statement.
Let me bring Jamu in then. Jamu, tell me then how in any way you can compare these two cases. How do you make that comparison? Because I've never seen, I like Oprah. I honestly think she's extraordinarily gifted. I've never seen her as racial in any way. I was kind of shocked at this statement.
Let me get this out of the way, since this is your night of having black women tell you that they love you. I love you, Sean. Now,
I'm not going to tell you I love you, Hannity.
Okay, we are better than this. We are better than this because, Niger, I'm glad you pointed out the second part of her statements where she effusively praised the United States and how far we've come. And she did say we shouldn't get stuck and mired in this. And so we should not be just parsing a few of her words. Sean, you shouldn't be parsing a few of her words. That's what another network does. Now, the thing is, Oprah said very clearly that the facts weren't the same, but the way they resonated within the civil rights community, the way they resonated in America around civil rights issues, that's what she was comparing. So let's not parse words and call Oprah Winfrey a race baiter. Oprah,
I never said that. I never said that.
No.
I never.
Your guest last night. Your last guest last night
saw her
called
as
her
racial.
every name under the sun. This is a great American American. She deserves the Medal of Freedom.
I'm not disputing that either.
Because of
I'm all
Oprah
in
Winfrey,
favor of
because
it.
of Bill Cosby,
Jamil,
we have a black president.
All right, Niger.
Let me say that. Yeah, just to Jammu, who I have to pinch myself because Jammu and I agree on something. I guess you're going to get some complaints from your liberal friends, Jammu. You better be careful.
She's going to get complaints for
I
saying
doubt
she
it.
loved me. That's the end of her career.
That too.
Folks.
But you know something? There was a YouGov poll. This is a serious point. There was a YouGov poll that was released today. You know, our country is in a crisis of confidence. And I don't want to say that it's one party or the other party, but there's a crisis of confidence. There are more Americans today that believe that the American dream is dead. 53% of Democrats believe that the American dream is dead. There's a crisis of confidence, and we can't allow people to not focus on how far we've come as a country, and our best days are ahead of us.
That's exactly what Oprah did.
Thank you
That's
both.
exactly what she
All right,
did,
well,
and she should be honored for
run.
having a nuanced
When we
conversation
return,
about race, Sean.
We expose media.